Hello everyone, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for hanging in there. I have been recuperating from a crop at home 2 and my son's graduation from college, University of Texas, Longhorns, Hook'em Horns. So let me tell you, I just got off live chat with Anna Griffin and I was so nervous, I can't even tell you. And I was putting together a little something while to ease my nerves. I was scrapbooking. I knew she was going to do boy stuff, so I pulled out my little die and I started putting something together. You guys know that I am a true scrapbooker. I love scrapbooking more than anything, but I do fall and buy every single die card kit that she has. So what I did was at Crop at Home 2, we learned how to do pockets. So let me show you what I put together. I got some gray pretty paper. I just went through my box of stuff and started putting things together. So I cut out a 3/4, yes, it is 3/4 of a frame. So I did a frame around and I cut out the middle, okay, in this gorgeous gray heavy duty cardstock. And then I used the newest of this little die right here. And after I ran 8 of them. And then when I put them together, I kind of decided that I wanted it a little bit different. Here, let me show you what I was doing here. So I put it here and I just kind of thought it was a little bit too much for some reason. And I wanted to kind of bring it in. I just wanted a little filling edge, a kind of finishing edge here. So I added this little piece and I sliced them in half. And that is something that I learned at Crop at Home 1, 2, I don't remember, but that's what I did. So when I do that, I take out my lovely little paper cutter and I use painter's tape to hold it down. So I put it down, and that's why I always tell you guys, learn how your paper trimmer works. So I can see here that it's nice and straight, and you have to kind of slowly cut because it is going to cut all that little space here. And I need to cut one more so that we would have 4 of them. Okay, so let me show you on this one where I'm at on it. I do always mark here where the top of these things are because I always feel like I forget where they're at. So that little blue tape right here tells me this is the top and I want, you know, a bird or the design to work a certain way. And this is the top for this side. So I went on the back side and I added, you can use wet glue, you can use your tape runner, whatever you feel comfortable doing. But I didn't do the very edges of it. So I left the tape off of these corners, the glue off of those corners. And then I'm working backwards here. And you want to see when you put this down, right here in the middle, where your little diamonds are, little triangles here, how much of that you want to show. Okay. And then we're going to do this one using the ruler. Of your little diamonds here in the middle. Let me show you right here, these little triangles. Okay, so now I have these sides here, and then I am using my mat and my triangle, if I can find it right here. Need to put something on it. So here, and then you come around in underneath, so you protect that mat, and you bring this one in. You want to make sure that your little triangles are in the same spot. And you're using a blade holding everything down so you have your sandwich here for your mitering of corners. And this is really challenging for me to cut and hard enough because I don't know, I think I was taught to use the cutting tool, X-Acto knife, and hold it lightly, so I have to cut down and press 3 or 4 times to get the right pressure on it. And then I use a little tiny bit of tape right here. Hold these two together, and I'm just using that as a backup to make sure that my little tails here are that these little tails are staying together. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing over here. And here we have absolutely perfect. Now, how gorgeous is that? We are working on a double page layout. So I wanted to make this little pocket right here. You can see that this is made from the Griffin Carte, Homme in French. It's fancy. And so I just started cutting these out. This is the first time I've used these dies. They are so adorable. I feel like I'm playing with Barbies, paper dolls, and I love me a paper doll. So I didn't want them this tall. I cut off about 1 inch. So because it's a pocket for me, I didn't want them to stick out that much. And then I kind of changed out a little bit here and there. So let's put these together. And you can see that I put these together real fast. And I just tape them down. Look at this with blue painter's tape, my best friend. You can see. Now, I may not have done this correctly because I was rushing putting something together while I was talking to Griffin. So very exciting. Okay, so here goes this. And you can see this is not double-sided. This is actually the card base from this one right here, and I just loved it, so I wanted to use that. And then I kind of was playing around with, you see this is the trim right here, so I wanted that as a trim on that, and I kind of thought, oh, would that be cute if we put that in here? You see how that works? Isn't that just so cute? And I'm going to put a little bit of glue, and we're going to slide that right in between. Okay, and then I put Plano gift wrapping tape on the back to kind of keep it all put together. And you see how I cut off a little piece of him on the bottom? I don't know, I still think I want to cut a little bit more of these because they seem a little bit tall for me. I don't want them that tall. Okay, I'm thinking of something else that would be so cute, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Because this is what happens once I start creating and moving things around, I cannot stop. So here is my paper, and I am going to cut with my paper trimmer. I'm putting the blade of this right on the edge of this gold piece right here, and I'm going to pierce the paper. That's why you need to know your paper trimmer cutter, because you want to know where you want to cut. This is my middle person, and I'm going to tuck him into this so this fancy gold piece is showing. How darling is that going to be? So that means I need to cut him right there. So I'm holding this piece together, I'm flipping him over, and I'm going to squeeze this down, and with my little triangle blade, and it's moving for me, you see. I don't like it when it moves for me. So I'm going to go a little bit above the line that I just cut on, because it's going to fit into the pocket. Now this one right here is not fair. This is like 3 pieces of chipboard, of cardstock. So there we go. Okay, so now our little man is going to fit into this pocket. Isn't that going to be darling? Yes, it is, because he is cute. Right there, right here. Look at that. So when it's time to glue them all in, I can take that little piece off and glue him in. So, like that. What I'm going to do is get my little sneaky wet glue. Now we have not finished decorating all the fabulousness that goes to this die. All I'm doing here is putting the die on the paper, the basic die on the paper. And then we have our other little man, and we have to make him a little bit smaller also. So maybe about right here. So we're going to cut him off. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight because you're going to hide that part anyway. Okay, you see that? That goes right there. And I've got him just a tiny bit in. And we're going to do the same thing. Where's our glue? Okay, now our next little suit. And we're going to have him stand up right there also and squeeze him in because we want one little row of diamonds on that side to be showing. And cut just a little tiny bit. And we're going to put a little glue on the back. And we're sliding this little man behind him also, getting him all into this little pocket. There we go. And we want him to be about the same on this side. We want to see those little gold pieces on this little suit so that you kind of have the same amount over here that you do over there. Nobody's going to notice that except for us. So it's perfectly okay. Okay, there's our little men. And now we can go back here and remove this little piece right here. That's my heavy, heavy score tape that holds everything in forever. Okay, and then to keep your pocket all nice and pretty on the inside, we put a little bit of gift wrapping paper, tape. Okay, and then here we have, I really love that. So it's gonna fit lovely in our little pocket right about here. Now let's make a pocket. So since we are still using this little piece right here, is the perfect, it's the exact same color. So we are going to snip little pieces of this. You can make them as thick or as little as you want. And I like to have about 1 inch. So let's cut out 1 inch strip. Keep saving onto that because that can be other little things. I do this one and I fold it in half. And let's measure that up against our corners here. We are building a hinge for our little pocket. We are building a hinge. So what we have here is 1 inch. Right there, it's a 1 inch strip. And we are going to fold it in half. You just score it. I love to use my cutting tool to score. Right there. Fold this little piece inside. This is now our little hinge system. The gold part I'm going to leave on the inside. I think we need to have a tiny little gusset, okay? So a tiny little gusset on these. That means we're going to score it twice. Just a tiny little gusset, 1/8 of an inch maybe. So that our little pocket can really hold a lot of things, not just a little piece of paper. We want it to be essential in holding all the memorabilia that you have. So it's just a tiny bit more of a gusset, just like that. And then on this side, the same thing. And then I'm using this little thing right there and I'm taking off a little bit of that piece. Okay, so let's go to the pocket hinging here system. Here's our little pocket. This is 1 inch and a tiny 1/8 of an inch in between, and we're folding them and doing this part. And then what we're going to do with this is we're going to glue it to these pieces so that our hinge has a little, our pocket is a little bit thicker. So I like using wet glue. Right there. And then when we fold this one in, we can fold the other side, and let's do this side. There we go, just like that. Now we can get, you're sure that all your pockets here are inside and you're not outside of the fold or the edge of the card. And now you can bring in this part. So let's do the wet glue. Wet glue. We have our page, and we can put this down right here. How fabulous is that? Now, before I put him down, I want to dress up these little pockets. Let's see what all they gave us in our die cutting system here. Let's look and see. Okay, so you can see now that I have added some embellishments to my page. I added the little pocket where the square would go in, and I added some bow ties, a little red in the middle as an accent color because I think it's so pretty. I added the little rose gold kind of little pocket square and the gold around the side. I think it looks okay. If you don't like it, you don't have to do rose gold. You can do the other color, regular gold. So now what we have to do is we have attached our hinge to the sides, and now we need to attach this to the actual part. Now I think I would like to be able to add pockets, maybe all our Father's Day cards into this space. So I want to keep it low. Even if we do a pretty picture right here, we can still add this as a pocket. Or I kind of like to do tons of little frames for it. So here is where I want to add my pocket. The score tape is the one that I think is the strongest. We should do first is glue all this down, right? Let's glue all this down first. This to the bottom or the top, whichever one you want to start with. Okay, so now we have that. And I did add my glue towards the edge of it, so if I wanted to later come and add something to it, do you see that? I kind of can still use this as a little bit of a pocket or a ledge. So now we want our gorgeous little men right here on the bottom. I think this is pretty heavy. It's going to be used as a pocket, so I think it should be pretty strong. We should add quite a bit of glue to it. You can use whatever glue you want. This is wet glue, and it's art glitter glue, and I add it to this little fine tip applicator. This right here, fine tip applicator. So we'll have this one moved up, and we're going to kind of gently, with the wet glue, move it around a little bit. I am kind of trying to eyeball method here of adding just the right there. I think I like that there. Looks like it's on the straight side with these little round edges on the top. I think it works out just fine. There we go. So now I did add the little glasses here at the bottom with hot glue. And then I added a tiny little pop-up dot on this lapel. I'm thinking I don't need all of them like that because it'll be under a plastic. So I'm thinking that that is a good spot, and we'll just let the plastic kind of let those settle. Here completed the page I was working on. The three little men right here are little card embellishments that came with the Carte Homme, and I made the card horizontal, of course, so that we can put this down. And then I have a date time right here, so we can put a date. And then of course I had to use flowers, and I kind of accidentally was using red as a little bit of an accent color, so I used some red flowers and added a little pink. And then let me show you, I have here an absolutely gorgeous card that I'm going to use as a journaling block. I'm thinking maybe this might be a good spot to add something of a hidden love letter. This might be the perfect place to add a special letter to someone about this event. So I added here tons of embellishment, kind of entangled one of these little flourishes with this typewriter and some books, and added again a little red just because I added red on the bottom. And then here is just the absolutely fabulous card that we used from these scrapbook cards from last year. Absolutely love how it gives you just that little bit of a beveled edge, a little bit finished here. And it's double-sided, so we can add tons of pictures on here. And then the tassels. Look at how beautiful that tassel is. And I'm thinking a wonderful picture and more pictures on the inside and on the back. So I kind of just left that blank for right now, thinking that that's what would be happening here. Now here is the actual page. Oh my goodness, do I not love the way these little tassels, curtains, absolutely fabulous. I just love it. And I did it with the black and then added some little extra gold spaces there to kind of accent again with the date and all this gorgeousness right here. Here's a card. Put that in our little pocket right here. There's our little page. And the card or journal for someone that you love. Okay, that goes all right in here. Hello, thank you so much. I am so happy to be here with you. You just do not know how much I love creating and being able to share these things with you. I have so much fun doing this with you. So what I'd like to do is do a giveaway, and I want to give away this layout. So all you have to do to be a winner is subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, and I will be doing a raffle and picking a winner. Let's give it a week or so, and then we can pick a winner. And I will be sending this lovely creation to you. Is it not so fabulous? So next I'm going to do the accompanying page to this, and I'll show you a sneak peek. Look at how beautiful this is. Yes, and there we go. So please, please, please subscribe, leave me a comment, and let's give this layout away to somebody. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.